Some of us avoid responsibility. Others pursue greatness. But none of us avoid the consequences of our actions. None of us avoid what it is that we lead ourselves to. You see, we all go down this road and live our own life in our own individual basis. We have our own upbringing, our own life before we come to know ourselves. Many of us make the mistake of taking responsibility at times when it's easy to, and we fail to take responsibility when it might be harder to. We pursue greatness when it's easy to, but maybe we don't pursue it when it is the hardest thing to do, when it's absolutely what we need to do, though. You see, when we chase greatness, when we go after greatness, and when we be great, right? It's less than chase, more of being great. Being that individual of greatness, of individuality. We are living up to our higher standard. We are doing something for ourselves that nobody else can give to us. You see, we are taking and making time for the ideas that which we believe to be true of ourselves, for the ideas that which we believe to be true expressions of ourselves. Though it may be the hardest thing for you to do, it may be the hardest thing for you to look at and be with in that moment. There may not be anything else more valuable for you as an individual. You see, because in our process and in our journey of individualization, if we choose to partake on it, I should mention, we are constantly growing, constantly going through things and learning how to better be a part of them, if we choose to have that mindset. You see, I mean, in a way, we always are learning how to be better, right? Even if that means reacting in a more negative way next time because of our negative emotions from right now. That's still learning. Technically, that's your mind and your inner sense of humanity, or your inner sense of human, I should say, attempting to do better the next time, to not have the same negative outcome. But it depends on what our internal regulation is. It depends on what our internal self is. Like, are we really on top of our reactions? Or are we reacting mostly emotionally and not looking at things eye to eye? Not looking at a situation with the full reality? It's not something someone can really answer for you. You have to be able to answer it for yourself, depending on where it is that you want to go, depending on what alignment you have in your life. But what most often happens is we go through life, we learn and grow and develop in all these different ways, and we're not conscious of it. Like, we're just kind of here, floating around and becoming the next individual, which may be good in many different ways, or some ways, right? Maybe really bad. Depends on everything you've been modeled and everything you develop into by luck. The point is that once you become more conscious of that process and of your chosen identity within the reaction to your situations and outcomes, you are so much more capable of creating the life that you want, of being the individual of purpose and passion, who has a different sense of self that is actually being expressed on the world, rather than being motivated by something that isn't really real, something extrinsic. Jesus, I can't speak this morning. I don't know if I still probably didn't say it right. Being extrinsically motivated by something that doesn't align with your soul. Maybe you've never even listened to your soul. Most people don't. We live in a society completely corrupt of anything of the soul. Anyways, to my original point, none of us avoid or escape the consequences of our actions, whether it be good or bad, our actions, whether we're chasing greatness or avoiding responsibility. We still have a consequence of that action. Maybe a good consequence. It may be something that's more painful. You may choose to do something really well for yourself and your life and your soul, and the next step in the process is painful. It may feel like a step back. It may feel like a punch in the fucking face. But it's your chosen alignment, it's your chosen awareness of where you're heading that makes the real difference in the purpose behind the pain. Right? Because most often that's how we feel. We don't know. We don't realize the purpose behind our pain. So we just go through endless amounts of pain and we end up getting fed up. I mean, who doesn't, right? As humans, we're meant to avoid pain, or at least we're meant to survive. So if there's anything else you can do today or tomorrow or the rest of your life, it's to understand where you're heading. Understand where your actions are going to take you. What are your concepts that you're living by? And this is not this is a one day at a time process. It's not figure it out tomorrow. But take the time to do so, or fall into the trap of most likely never being where you want to be with passion and fulfillment. Right? I love you guys. Have an amazing day. Be who you're supposed to be. I love you.